Hello, my dear folks. Welcome back to the show. You parents, you good people, husband, wife, especially when you have a kid, you might like this show because today we're talking about education. Education being the key has been stressed many, many times. I emphasize that it's the key to save our nation, it's the key to look into our future. The fact is that we try to address this issue always by all possibilities from all angles. Right now, the kids are off school, they're playing. Why don't we, well, get something for them? Give them something to hold on, to hang on, to think of. So this is the moment I insert this show with my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemmings. And he's a writer of this book called Life is Simple, 100 Words to Live By being the subtitle. Twice we have been talking about this book. We plan to go deeper chapter by chapter, if possible, into the content of the book. As a matter of fact, it's quite a simple book, as simple as the life he promoted. If you look into it, those words each has the meaning. If you learn those words, when I say learn, I say master those words, you really become a wonderful human being. So to my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemmings, welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And the way you just phrased what you said is exactly my mission in life.
Sure.
To enlighten and sculpt out greater people on this planet.
Sure. And another point is that these days you quite easy come across people complaining. You have more complainers rather than singers. Yes. Sing about life or sing a prayer about life. They don't. People seem to have lost their confidence in life. That's very risky. That's not at least not healthy. To me, I call myself a guy with an upbeat mind who promotes upbeat life. So it is always this attitude problem, as the old cliche goes. Is it half full or is it half empty? Life is the half. That it all depends how you look at it, right? Sure.
Absolutely, perfectly spoken.
Sure. To those of my audience who just tuned in, hasn't got a chance to see the previous show though,
yes,
I believe they will owe them a little background story about yourself, right?
Sure, I'd love to provide it.
Sure, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, well, my name's Ken Hemming. My primary occupation in life has been as a certified public accountant. And what do you gain from that? You gain how to serve people.
Sure,
okay,
sure.
So that's the purpose. It's not how to bill them and receive their money. It's how to serve them and please them and protect them.
Sure.
And so in all of my life, I've been thinking about my own personal value system and how it can apply to other people. I conceived of this idea 20 years ago to share it with my daughter.
Right.
I'm busy working, so I didn't get it done till now. And now I have it done, and I've studied our language. I've selected 100 words that I think belong in our value system.
Sure.
And that's where we are.
Yeah, it is by logic, it is the moment that you kind of spur out to let people know what you share with them about the value of life.
Yes.
Right, exactly. And especially nowadays when we, all the society, everybody, including our beloved media, talking about jungle laws, we give them too much credit to the jungle laws. And there's not much talking about how we shall, well, rebuild ourselves, or at least modify ourselves into some kind of an extent that we can proudly call ourselves a society of full of good-hearted human beings.
Yes.
So, last time you were here, we decided to pick up those keywords that we think important. Last night, when I was doing my homework, I was doing under D.
Okay.
Under D. In D, we have dedication and devotion.
Yes.
Two words next to each other, back to back.
Yes.
Right. So, how do you define the difference between dedication and devotion?
I would say dedication may be more oriented toward a project or a performance, and devotion is more of an emotional commitment of an incredibly deep nature to maybe other people or certain issues.
So, what do you exactly say under these two words?
Well, I would like to, can I read a little bit of it?
Of course,
Okay.
that's why I was
Yeah,
asking.
thank you. On dedicate, on the word dedicate, I always sum it up with something that kind of synopsizes my thinking, but I
Sure,
put
sure.
dedicate adds value to life. Absolutely. In talking about dedicated, it's about responsibility. It applies in family life, it applies in your business life. If you're dedicated to a particular goal or a principle of guidance for other people, and you're consistent, one of the real important areas of all of these words is to live life in a consistent manner with these words in your heart. For example, one of the words is polite, and not to interject, but polite is great, but if you're polite 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be viewed as a rude person when you're rude 1 out of 10 times. Rude shines a brighter light than polite does.
Of course,
and so you have to, so consistency in your value system and living through that is really the key to everything. In dedication, you know, there's temptation all throughout life to sway away from our selected value system. And so
For
that's
example,
awareness.
if you do a job, like say from 9 to 5, right?
Yes.
You show up on time, you time out on time.
Right.
You never delay yourself.
If you do.
If you do, and you have your job accomplished, and that's a perfect man, perfect person already, right? However, there's another way. There's still better way. Do it with dedication.
There's a better way of doing life than showing up and getting paid by the hour or whatever. What it is, I never considered myself, I never thought about the money I would earn. I only thought about being excellent in whatever I do. So if you live a life with the purpose of trying to be as excellent as your abilities allow you, then you will achieve way more in success, both financially and emotionally with your family and friends. Because it's all about consistency, and you cannot put material things ahead of your own soul. It won't work.
Yeah, in comparison to dedication, though, devotion is still extra. Am I right?
It's an extra depth.
Yeah, it's an extra step, extra step, and an extra depth.
Yes.
Right? So how do you define that an extra depth?
Well, you know, I say feel the freedom and joy of devotion. And devotion seems like a simple word, not very difficult to write about, but it is not. There are so many levels and layers and subtleties to the word that it is possible to write about this word for a very, very long time. And so there's very many levels of devotion, which can be with people primarily. And devotion is something, it's not unconditional. Devotion over life can evolve. You're naturally devoted to certain things, you know, like your dog or your child or your mom or your dad, you know, or certain performance aspects of sports or academics, if you have that devotion. But then the devotion must be earned. So there has to be a, you know, you don't want to be devoted to unworthy, unworthy people or unworthy activities in life. So devotion, you always want to measure during life your level of commitment to your value system, and it changes a little bit over life as you learn more about life and circumstances.
Probably you can still go one step further. Let's check about donation, right?
Okay.
From dedication to devotion to donation. Can we do another step?
Yes.
Yeah. So did you pick a donation? No, you didn't.
Well, I have charity.
Oh, I have charity.
I have charity. To me, charity is not about writing checks and giving money. It's about an attitude of being charitable to society. It's a feeling. It normally is learned through observing, perhaps parents or other people, and then thinking about it. Think is one of the most important words to possess. Take time to think. But it's not just checks. A lot of people can write checks and not even be committed to the purpose. They're writing it to get a plaque or they're doing whatever. Now, and I'm not demeaning those people, but there are other people, volunteers that have no money that are really more, donate more of their heart and soul and commitment to proper issues.
Sure. Let's take a
You're right.
very short moment out. We'll come back. We'll find out more. In life, there are really those things. If you do pay attention to it, you will find some positive answer to it, and there are some you really want to get away from. So now, let's take a short moment out. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion.